Have you ever noticed how you can feel the mood of a room the moment you walk in? Before anyone even says a word, you already know if something is off. You notice the silence, the tension, the tiny changes in someone's voice. And maybe you've wondered why you're like this. Why you read people so easily. Why your mind is always scanning the room. Why sometimes it feels like you're playing a completely different emotional game than everyone else. If this sounds familiar, there's a reason. Many people who grew up with a narcissistic parent develop these abilities very early. Not because they wanted to, but because they had to. As a child, you probably learned that the emotional atmosphere at home could change in an instant. A small mistake could suddenly turn into criticism, anger, or silence. So without even realizing it, you became extremely observant. You started noticing signals most people ignore: the tone of someone's voice, the way they move, the energy in the room. While other kids were just being kids, you were quietly learning how to read people. And today, that ability is still with you. Sometimes it feels exhausting, because your mind rarely stops scanning. But it also means you can sense dishonesty, manipulation, or fake kindness long before anyone else notices. Another thing many people develop growing up this way is the ability to adapt to anyone. With some people, you're quiet. With others, you're confident. With others still, you become the listener who understands everything. Over time, you get really good at fitting in almost anywhere. But sometimes that ability leaves you asking a tough question. Who am I when nobody else is around? If any of this feels familiar, remember this. These traits don't mean you're broken. They mean you adapted. You learned to read people. You learned to survive emotional chaos. You learned to stay strong when things were unstable. And once you understand these abilities, they can become strengths instead of burdens. Because when someone who spent their life surviving finally learns to live for themselves, everything changes. And if this video helped you see yourself in a new way, you can subscribe to the channel. And if you don't subscribe, that's okay. But you might spend the rest of your life wondering why you feel different, without ever hearing the answers that could have explained everything.